How do we know if we have a good marriage? Well, that's a very good question. First of all, there's something that has to be in that marriage before it ever gets to the point to where we say I do. And I know everybody doesn't start off the same way, so I'll just move ahead a little bit. But what we need first of all is we need to have had real communication at the beginning, and we need to have really had talked about the things that we want to do, where we want to go, where are we going, and that's often that's the question that every woman has, and for every man that she's vowing to marry and live with, unless she has not been taught that it comes in your DNA naturally as a woman, but sometimes life presses it and stomps it out of you, and you don't. And sometimes people get to the point where they're just glad to have anybody, and that's not the place to be, but it happens. But let's go back to where we are. First of all, having a good marriage, you love being around each other. You love, nobody relates to their spouse as to a name that is not flattering. You have names for your spouses that are not like old lady or old man, or that old buzzard, or that old bat, or that old dog, or that old cat, stuff like that. Okay, so that's not really a good thing. So if you have a good marriage, first of all, you have really good names for each other besides your real name. You have endearing names like baby or honey, queen, king, things that are really people don't mind you calling them no matter where you are. People that have a good relationship love touching each other. When you see that couple and they're walking down the mall and they just automatically grab each other's hands, or he puts his arm around her, or she leans into him, or when you're sitting at home, that's when you really find out who you really are. When you're sitting there watching TV, but you rather talk to each other, or if you're not talking, you're snuggling. You love being next to one another. You look at each other when your spouse walks into the room, he or she, whether whichever one you are, the man or the woman in your relationship. So I'm talking to both men and women at the same time. When your spouse walks into the room, you have to look at them. You have this smile on your face. You have this warmth. You love talking to them. You love coming home from work. When you're at work, you're thinking about them. You love doing things together. You love everything that you do. It's like a date, because you just love being together. You love just being around them. You're comfortable with them, not to a comfortable where you like do rude things around them. I mean, you're comfortable, like you love the feeling of who you are with them. You don't have to pretend. Everything is authentic. It's not fake. Your conversation is genuine. It's real. You talk about things, and it's just refreshing being around your mate, because you're honest and you're close and you genuinely love one another. You're friends. You two are the main people that you go to. You're the go-to people. You don't take your stuff everywhere else, but your mate knows exactly how you feel, and your mate feels very good about sharing things with you. You love going places together. You love being together. You're not trying to get away from one another. You talk about where you want to go, the goals you have. Your bank accounts are together. Then you have, you're not trying to live this separate life. If your life is spent always trying to do something separate from your spouse, then you don't have a good relationship. You know how you have a good relationship because your spouse is included in everything. Every decision you make, you understand that it affects everybody in your household. And you and your spouse are the ones to make that decision. So that's how you know you have a good marriage. You want to be inclusive to your spouse. You want them involved in everything. You're teammates. You're side by side. You stand strong together. You're one united front, but not a fake front, but a true front. You do everything in your household. You run it together. You make the decisions together. You lean and depend on each other. You trust one another. You confide in one another. You ride or die all the way. And that's what makes the family work. And what makes that work, what really makes that work, is that God is the foundation, the center, and the head of everything that you two do together. So that's what makes that three-chord strand that cannot be broken, that's very hard to break. The only way it breaks is if one of you turn it loose. God will never turn it loose. But if one of you turn it loose and walk away from it, that's the only way that it breaks. Hey, family is the foundation of the world. Marriage is such a beautiful thing. And I'm so happy to be married to the love of my life, and I hope that all of you that are married are married to the love of your life. And remember that love is a choice, it's not a feeling. So if you chose that person, then you have to choose to stay in love. Love is a choice. It's what we do. It's a commitment. It's not a feeling of today I'm up, tomorrow I'm down. Love never fails. Love never gives out. It doesn't walk away. People walk away. God loves you, and so do I. But guess what? God's excited about your future, and so am I. I hope you have a very long marriage together, and never break up, and just spend your lives out loving each other, and everything will be great, guys. There's only one order in the world, and that's God's order, and that is the true world order. God bless.